Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and this is Monday, October 5th, and what I have laid out here are readings. Well, I'll talk you through it as I go. So at first, don't pay any attention to these here, these cards here, because they're from another spread, and I'll fill you in as I go. But these cards up here, this top row, and I'll explain what they mean. They came from this little, I mean, I've spoke about it before, but this was a long time ago, like a year or so ago, and my question was, this is before I even started my channel, was will Donald John Trump make it to the 2020 election? This is just kind of my chicken scratch. So I've brought out these cards so that we can go through them, and I'll talk you through it because I'm seeing a big story going on here. So with the snake, on a health level, it's flus and viruses. With the tree, that's your health. It's your brain. You've got the brain and you've got the bronchia as well. And trees tend to suck up all the energy around. So there's that. The ring has to do with his lymphatic system. It also has to do with routine checkups that have to keep happening, and frequent testing. It circles around, and you just have to keep doing it. It can be the completion of a treatment as well. There's that possibility. Now, when the Clover card is in there can be a recovery, but it also, because my question really didn't have anything to do with health, it's just that the health card came in. But with the Clover card, it can be that there's two issues that cause problems later on. Now, when we get to the book card, that has to do with brain and memory problems, which is what I thought originally when I did the spread. I mean, when it came through, I thought, oh, he's going to have mental problems, because these two cards here have to do with Alzheimer's. So anyway, but with the book, there's something unknown and concealed. And that's, it's what's going on right now. We don't really know how bad his health is, or at least they're not letting us know. But I think we're getting the message through my readings, and probably all the other readers out there are getting the same thing. I don't know. I'm trying to be careful not to watch anyone else's channel except for Schwanzi's Slice of Tarot right now for the time being, just because I don't want to be influenced. Yeah, I can't miss her daily sense of humor when she does them. I love her videos. But anyway, so back to him. There's something secret. Now, the mice card, that's the same thing. It's all about infections. It's all about virus. These are the two virus cards in the deck. Now, and this is just with the normal Lenormand. This is the maybe Lenormand that has the what do you call, the gypsy combined with the Lenormand. But so anyway, when you add the mice card with the clouds card, you get a lot of exhaustion, you get a slow decline, you get high anxiety. These two together are high anxiety. So, but anyway, it's like parasites, infections, ulcers. That's just major nervous system stress. And of course it has to do with viruses and infections, virus, and poisons too. Sometimes the mice can bring in the element of poison, which is easy to understand. Now, when we get to actually, you know what? Hold on, let me check the notes here, because I might have this flipped around. Let's see, it went mice. Oh, yeah, I do. I have this wrong. It was mice, lilies, and then clouds. Make sure that's all still in frame. There we go, okay. So mice. Oh, so then that takes away the stress and the anxiety. It mellows it out a little bit. But we still have the virus. We still have the toxicity, we still have the major problems that way. But these two cards coupled together, these are Alzheimer's. This is elderly and old age. You know, it's something that needs prolonged treatment. Same thing here. And it can have to do also with like vision and hearing problems, which is, you know, part of probably what he's going to end up having problems with, you know, if he makes it through COVID. But again, back to my question, will he make it to the 2020 election? Well, when we get to the clouds here, we're in the lungs. The clouds relate to the lungs in the body. And it's also, you know, like manic depressive, kind of bipolar. It's pneumonia, it's bronchitis, it's any inhaled substance. It's about being completely under the weather. And then the Scythe card comes in, and that clears things out. So is it going to be cleared out, or is his presidency going to be taken out and removed? This is the removal card in the Lenormand. So that's my question that I have going on there, and I don't really know the answer yet. But I'm creating this video so that it's documented, and then we can go back and look at it and see, like, okay, what actually did these cards mean, right? Because that's how it goes with any form of divination. You draw cards, you get guidance, and then you go back later and go, oh wait, that was what it really meant. Okay, so these cards here, so now don't pay any attention here because this is from a whole different thing. What I did, starting in the first week of September, is I created what's called a grand tableau. So it's like you use all the cards, you draw, so I drew all the cards out of this deck, out of the, the maybe Lenormand, so there's 52 cards. And so you know, you have to shuffle, take your time, go really slow, because you want to draw them in the right order to get an overall message. And I set the intention, which is the way it always works. You set the intention for what you want to find out. I wanted to know how life was going to be, how it was going to go for Donald John Trump from September 6th to November 7th, because that's 9 weeks. And in the spread, in the grand tableau with this, you know, deck, you can do 9 weeks. So the first week that he started getting sick is this right here, this row here. So this row here, actually, let me see if I can, let me get a piece of paper. Oh, hold on. Yeah, because this one has my notes about the dates. Well, that doesn't really work too well. Let me get another one. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so now just focus on this row. And what you're going to see is this week was from September 27th and then to October 3rd. Okay, so this card I keep getting, it has taught me that this relates to his super spreader event. So this was the week that he was traveling and maybe had a heart issue, but he was traveling and he liked doing it, and he liked these super spreader events, and he liked getting the attention, and he was like in an egomaniacal, childish type of mode. And then this card, the Tower card in the Lenormand, represents institutions and you know, medical centers. It's the government, but it's also medical centers. So he wound up at the medical center like right after this. Now this next row, maybe if we do this, well, yeah, it's okay for now. This row here was from October 4th, and starting October 4th, and this is the whole week that we're headed into. So this started yesterday. But you have to know that in a grand tableau, you go in rows going down, you know, so this is like the 5th week. And then, so I'll bring the cards out for the next week as we go. You know, I'll try to do it every week. So for the 5th week, here we go. The stars card, so something spreading, the illness card spreading, shattered his prosperity, his opulence. And he does want to go home. So we have to remember, because this, well, here, that didn't work, sorry. This card here, because of the way everything goes in rows, this card here wound up being like over here. So anyway, what the message that I get, I can't lay it out the way I want to, because there's just not enough room. I can't fit that in frame. But you just have to kind of, you know, if you can grok what I'm trying to say. For this week, no matter which direction it's reading, I'll tell you what the other cards were. His super spreader event, right? It spread the illness further. All of his traveling all over the world, you know, acting like he didn't care, spreading the virus whether he cared or not. He, you know, his because of his ego, he's not going to wear a mask. Because of his unhealthy ego, his pride and his vanity, he's not going to wear a mask unless he absolutely has to. So now he does. But, you know, this childish way of acting landed him in Walter Reed. Now, this week, it's spreading. He's really ill. It is shattering his financial fortune, and he might end up getting to go back to the White House. He might end up getting to go back to the White House, but because of the way, let's see if I can do this. It went like, oops, I got to make sure I don't mix up decks. I've got two decks here. Two of the same decks. This card here, if he does end up going back to the White House, then this card leads to this card in the row. So imagine like all these cards are in a row, and you're reading the chain of events. If he does go to the White House, he'll end up going back to the medical center. And then this card, which is at the end of the row for the week of October 11th to October 17th, tells us that the reason he goes back to the medical center is because something's wrong, because something was misdiagnosed. You know, misdiagnosed, or it was just wrong for him to go back. So what I'm seeing with him in this pattern that he's in, he cannot stand to be seen as weak, and for him to be ill, that's a sign of weakness, and that's why he has hidden all his health problems all along. We do know he has heart problems. We do know that he's probably on statins that are high, you know, for high cholesterol. I believe he's an addict with Adderall, and I do believe he drinks, whether he tells it or, you know, says it or not. He probably takes sleeping pills at night because the Adderall wakes you up, and, you know, he snorts coke. He does all kinds of things. Is what I mean. That's what I see out of the cards. So with that, and also this little card, this little super spreader card. It's not only super spreader. It's the card. That's the card of addictions, partying all the time. So, but his forcing current to look like he's stronger, to appear that he's stronger than he is, you know, because that's what he cares about, you know, in all his traveling. So in his childish ego, right? There's all of that because of his forcing current to look like somebody he's not, to appear to, you know, he has this awful need for external validation, and because of that, he's, you know, this has put this appearance out there, and it's the wrong thing that he needs to do. What he needs to do for his soul to heal, he needs to allow himself to be vulnerable and to be cared for. But of course, you know, because he's been such an atrocious, you know, cruel, awful, just he's been so cruel. Deep down inside, there's no way he's going to believe that he deserves that. You know, not yet. He needs to do a lot of healing, and I don't know if he's going to get to it this lifetime. So anyway, so something could go wrong. He could go back home. He could go back to the White House. But if he does, he'll end up going back to, and whether we know about it or not, this card here is, you know, he will be going back to Walter Reed at some point because something is wrong. And this will happen that week of, well, next week, the 11th to the 17th. So, okay, so that's all I've got for that. This is an additional video to just diving into his health and what I've observed. And like I said, I'll bring out the cards that I have, because this whole thing is laid out on my, this grand tableau is laid out on my kitchen table. And I can't bring it over here and it won't fit, and there's all that. But so I'll bring the cards out for each week as we go along. Okay, thanks you guys.